My computer acting up. I'm like, why won't it let me in my own little shindig here? But hey, y'all, listen, nice to see y'all. Glad y'all in the building. It's late because I had to run to the store. I ran to the store and I was like, all right, what time am I gonna get back? But I'm ready for y'all. Listen, it's Thursday night. It's trending topics. It's so crazy. I feel like the week sometimes goes by so incredibly fast. But anyway, people, it's Thursday night. It's trending topics. I'm in the building. We got stuff to do. We got stuff to talk about. The title is called Justice. So I never in my life heard of this rapper before I read this story, but he calls himself Afroman. And he's saying at one time the cops accused him of running some trafficking ring and all kinds of other stuff, selling the substances, and they raided his home. And he said when they raided his home, they literally only found about $4,000. He said, but they tore his house up. He said he tried to sue them and it was thrown out of court. But now they are suing him because he had cameras and stuff in his house. So he caught them on film while they was raiding his home. Tara, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for the super chat. So he said that, that he filmed them. He used them, that film in the video, and now they suing him for distress. They said as a result of their faces being shown in this video, it caused them harm to their reputation and distress. He's saying because I get high. I don't know who that is still. Tara, again, thank you so much. I really do. I really, really, truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. So, yeah. Well, we're going to see. I feel like he's representing himself because I didn't hear him say nothing about no lawyer. Well, you know what they said, when you represent yourself, you got a fool for a client. So I hope he actually has a lawyer, but he's in, a dispute right now with the police. And then we talked about this many times in these sports. We talked about the hazing, the abuse. And speaking of hazing, I just didn't go back to this story because it's so heart-wrenching. Remember the young man that was pledging at the college? I think he was pledging Q's, and unfortunately he died. Well, about 5 people are being indicted for that particular case. Yes, super sad. Super sad. It's about 5 people. And then one of them is like, I think because he gave the fatal punch, he's in the biggest trouble. But that whole case is very sad. Well, this young man, he said he was abused at the school. He said his parents alerted the school and they did nothing. So now he's suing the school and he's suing the kid that abused him. Said they was racist and abusive. We're going to talk about it. Very sad. And then we got this basketball coach who got arrested for running a whole sex trafficking ring. Well, what is wrong with honest work? I'm confused about that. What is wrong with an honest work, with going to work, earning your money in an honest way, and chilling and just living your life? These people out here want to do the most. Well, they play these stupid games and they win stupid prizes. Now you locked up, you all in the court system, and you could have just been a coach and did the right thing. But listen, people, I done talked enough. It's time for me to bring the people on in the building. I need a what in the chat? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Thursday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title's called Justice. We got Afroman fighting the cops. We got abuse allegations, and we got the basketball coach turned pimp. Let me bring the people in the building. Hey, my opinion.
Hey, Diva. Choo-choo.
Choo choo. Listen, you said honest work don't pay that much away. I
I'm just joking.
That's funny. So listen, guys, we're gonna get right into this story. Let's get into this Afroman. Hey, Julius.
Hey y'all, hit the like button for the diva.
All right, let me see that. Let's hear what Afroman got to say. Hold on one second. All right.
This outfit represents the freedom of speech.
New tonight, rapper Afroman is speaking out ahead of his trial this month.
This suit just made me smile. He is being sued by Adams County Sheriff's deputies for using a video of them raiding his home in 2022 in one of his music videos.
Afroman filed his own counterclaims against the officers, but a judge recently dismissed those claims without a hearing.
In an interview you'll only see right here on Fox 19 now, Alexis Martin sat down with the Afroman to talk about the raid, the lawsuit, why it was thrown out, and what happens next.
This all started in August of 2022 when Adams County deputies raided the rapper's home, causing significant damage. Afroman says he turned that experience into music, using his own security footage from the raid in a music video to help pay for the repairs. Now he says the lawsuit against him isn't just about the money. He believes it's a violation of his freedom of speech.
Should have freedom of speech. I should be allowed to sing about my life. And police officers that violate my home, steal my money, should not be allowed to sue me.
In August of 2022, Adams County deputies raided the home of Joseph Foreman, better known as the rapper Afroman. They had a search warrant tied to an investigation into possible drugs and kidnapping victims.
They didn't charge me for any crimes. They didn't find no large amounts of marijuana or whatever narcotic they were saying. They didn't find any kidnapping victims.
Afroman was never charged with a crime after the raid. Deputies seized thousands of dollars in cash that was later returned, but Afroman says about $400 was never recovered. The raid also left damage throughout his home, and he says the department told him it was not responsible for paying for the repairs.
The guy started laughing and waddling his head. He goes, "We're not required to do that." And they were unapologetic.
Afroman used his own security footage from the raids in a music video to make money to pay for the damages sustained to his home.
I got freedom of speech, and then I used my personal life to write my music. I was going to clean my room, but then I got, "Will you help me repair my gate? Will you help me repair my door?" I'm singing about what actually happened to me.
Deputies who appear in the video are now suing the rapper for the damages caused by their faces being in the videos.
Hey, we raid your house, we steal your money, we disconnect your cameras. Now we need to sue you for saying something about it.
Afroman filed a countersuit for the damages to his home, and Judge Jonathan Hines dismissed those charges in February.
They dismissed all of my claims with the click of a mouse in some little office somewhere without a hearing.
Afroman believes this lawsuit violates his free speech rights as an American and as a working artist in the United States.
As a working rapper that raps for a living and pays taxes to America with rap money, I need raw materials. Raw materials is my life experiences.
I reached out to the judge about the dismissal as well as the attorney for the deputies and the Adams County Sheriff's Office. So far, we have not received a response to Afroman's claims. The trial in the deputies' lawsuit is set to begin March 16th. Reporting in studio, I'm Alexis Martin, Fox 19 Now.
Afroman got a complaint, in my opinion. What are your thoughts?
This is a really hard one to comment on, because while I do agree that he should be able to use his security camera footage because it's his property, I do think there is a level of security that he shouldn't have had the officers' faces shown, even though it's his property. I think that's where he's gonna run into his biggest complaint is that you actually show these officers' faces, probably their badges. You putting them on blast, okay? And nobody likes to be put on blast, whether they right or wrong. And I think this case is going to be an even bigger case to look at, because then when Mr. Diddy get out, he going to want to use his same security footage to do the same thing and put them on blast. I feel like we in this time where everything is digitized and everybody wants to use their digitized data. And in some areas, they just don't know when is enough. And they should definitely make that clear with this era of everything being recorded, being saved on links and stuff, and being reused and reposted. We should definitely have a level of awareness to what we can and can't do, and what's a penalty against the law. Maybe Afroman should have listened to his song back in the day, because maybe he was a little high when he, did this. I don't know, but good luck to him.
Good luck to Afroman. Wayne, your thoughts?
I think he has a valid point. How are they going to try to seek retribution for that when they raided his house illegally, found nothing, still took money? They can seek retribution on him because he showed their faces, which why not? So I don't see why he shouldn't be able to, and I hope he does. Now I hope he has a real lawyer, because I haven't heard him mention anything about a lawyer yet. But yeah, I think he should should be able to get to sue him. That's it.
All righty. Katrina, your thoughts?
Hey, Diva. Hey, panel. Hey, chat. I'm with Wayne. I feel like if they can use these songwriters and these song singers and these rapper lyrics against them, why can't the rappers on the songwriters and the song and the singers and all them use their information against them? You telling me that I'm gonna come after you over lyrics that you're saying in your songs to prove that you have what they call it, what you call it? I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, they come after them for the lyrics in their songs. So I think it's fair that, okay, you raided my house illegally. You didn't find nothing. So that's your fault. And somebody recorded it. I'm not mad at Afro Man. But like Wayne said, I hope he got a good lawyer. So if you're gonna tell us that you gonna use my lyrics against me, then I'm gonna use what you did to me against you. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So I'm not mad with Afro Man, but like Boy said, he should have a good lawyer. That's all I got.
All right. We saying Afroman, get your lawyer and do what you got to do. Savannah, your thoughts?
I'm in agreement with Katrina and Wayne here. So the civil suit that he filed for unjustly raiding his home was dismissed, but in turn, the 7 officers that were involved filed a civil suit against him for using the footage of the raid of his property. So what are they trying to? Are they trying to hide something? I'm trying to understand what is the basis for their lawsuit, because the raid was found to be unjust. And as far as I remember, everything, and I don't know Afroman, I don't know his music, I don't even know that song, but that's everything he did is protected under his First Amendment rights. So I'm trying to figure out where he violated the 7 officers who initially violated him and his privacy and his property. So this seems a more of a wanting to hide the embarrassment of the officers of law enforcement not following protocol, and just doing, and I haven't seen the video, so I don't know. Versus trying to silence whatever Afroman is doing. I think he has a strong case, and I really hope he does have a strong lawyer, not Tyrone or Roy or it can't. I really hope he has a good lawyer, because he has a case. From what you said in the story, I think he really has a case against the city and these 7 officers, because they destroyed his home. So, and they found nothing. So I think he has a case. I just hope he has a good, strong lawyer.
Yes, yes. Julius, your thoughts?
I felt like he could have blurred their faces out.
Mm.
He could have showed everything else. He could have blurred their faces out. As for the both sides thing, the whole kind of case to me is like it's laughable in a sense. And it's like the he said, she said, oh, I got you on camera, so I'm gonna do it like this. It's appearing like a cat fight to me. And so, I mean, I think for the comedy effect of it, you could keep your eye on this case.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and roll right into our next story. And our next story is pretty sad. This former student at a school is saying he suffered abuse, is claiming that, his parents alerted the school and now he's suing because they did absolutely nothing. Let's take a listen.
Former student is suing Harvard Westlake, the private school in Studio City, along with a former classmate, saying he was subjected to sexual and racial abuse.
The school and the former classmate denied the allegations. And Eyewitness News reporter Rob McMillan has the story.
18-year-old Aiden Romaine has dreams of one day playing water polo in the Olympics. Part of that dream led him to play at Harvard Westlake School in Studio City. But he says his days there were hell.
It was very difficult on a daily basis to deal with the racial abuse and the sexual abuse.
Romaine, who says he's now living in Barcelona, Spain because things were so bad, has now filed a lawsuit, not only against the school, but one of its former players, Luca Vanderwood.
The racial abuse and the sexual abuse was a daily basis thing. It would happen in nearly every training. It would happen many times, daily.
According to the lawsuit, the abuse was not spontaneous. It was part of a years-long culture in which violence and humiliation were normalized and facilitated through the school's coaching staff and administration. Romaine's attorney details the allegations.
Ranging from Aiden being called the N-word to being literally whipped with exercise bands in a weight room, supposedly reenacting slavery.
As far as the sexual assault allegations, they're alleged to have occurred at the hands of Vanderwood, not only in the weight room, but underwater in the pool.
The core of the lawsuit is that the school failed to protect Aiden. They failed to report the assaults as they were occurring to law enforcement.
According to the lawsuit, Romaine's parents notified the school of the allegations in February of last year by email. But in a letter from the school's attorney, at no time was the alleged sexual assault ever reported. Harvard Westlake telling Eyewitness News, quote, Harvard Westlake will not offer specific comment other than to say it unequivocally disputes many of these allegations that mischaracterize facts and the school's actions. The school treated reports of inappropriate behavior in its water polo program with urgency and seriousness, promptly initiating an investigation and complying with its mandatory reporting obligations. Vanderwood's attorney telling Eyewitness News, quote, we do not intend to litigate this matter in the media. Mr. Vanderwood's denials and other responses will be clear and unambiguous in his defense to the complaint at hand. Romaine says he hopes to return to the U.S. and play water polo for an Ivy League school very soon.
Part of the reason why I'm speaking up and standing up for myself is so that others don't have to be in these kinds of situations. And I hope that people who are experiencing these kind of things know that they are not alone.
Rob McMillan, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Super sad. In my opinion, your thoughts?
These schools have to get better with handling situations and promptly these kind of situations. Schools lack the ability to take what a parent is saying and follow through. So many times you have to go above and beyond. Dang near like you work for the school board and fish around and call every part of the board of education until you get to a person that may lead you to the right person. And even then, it's still a bunch of hoops you got to hop through to get to the person that you still need to talk to then, because it's a level of security to get to 'em. I really hate that this boy had to go through this, had to deal with this, and on top of that, had to deal with being racially mistreated. It's really sad. It's a failure on the school's behalf. And let me tell you something. First of all, I'm glad she emailed and has these email confirmations, because the school is trying to backpedal their behinds back to say, oh no, well, we had to evaluate these claims. You didn't have to you didn't even do that. You didn't evaluate these claims because you looked at this paper, that email, and you turned your head the other way. That student wasn't important to you. But far too often, our kids are suffering in schools because parents drop the ball and don't go the extra mile to find somebody to help them. These schools are getting really bad at answering claims when it comes from the parents' mouths.
Very sad. Wayne, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm glad he spoke up because most wouldn't.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's a long time to be, to be abused. I hope there is something that can be done. You get run out the country. I mean, that's pretty bad. So once again, I hope he has his legal matters in order and, go accordingly.
Yeah. Katrina, your thoughts?
I mean, we got to look at it like this way, Diva. When we got Jim Jones, who's over the Congress, that knew that these boys was getting SA at these schools with Sandusky, and he's over the Congress right now. So basically, they don't care. And me, myself personally, you know, I know my son want to do this, and nobody should stop him from doing this. But I don't think I can let my son keep going there getting this treatment every day. Yes, we get it. He reported it, and they wasn't doing anything. Do she know how much turmoil is gonna be on this child? Do you know how much counseling he's gonna need? Then you sexually assault me in the water. Nobody is seeing this. I mean, come on. Then you whipping me like I'm a slave. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, I'm not saying that, he couldn't go to another school or he should have to go to another school. But what I'm saying is I wouldn't let my child be subject to being abused that way. I would find him in some other way, but I would also would be suing the school in the process of me finding him another school. Because I'm not gonna let my child go through this treatment of being mistreated, being abused, being laughed at. Do you think I want my child on a team that if he's good, that's gonna get them the wins, and he's not gonna be showing no type of appreciation about him helping them win? No, I'm not gonna let my child stand and do this. And I'm not saying, that she should pull her child out and all that type of stuff. But me, myself personally, that's what I would have did. I would have found another school for my child to be at, but I would still have an ongoing lawsuit against them because of my child anguish, because of my child mental depression, because of my child feels like when he goes to sleep, somebody's gonna mess with him. So yes, I would still be suing them, but I would take my child out of that school so he won't be harassed. And I'm not gonna let you win no games, help you win games, and he's getting treated this way. There's no possible way I'm finna do that. And maybe I'm talking different than other people in the panel or the chat or whatsoever, but I feel like this child that went through suffering for this team that he's trying to play. I know he's trying to get to Olympics. Everybody's not gonna get there, but hopefully he will get there. But I will definitely have him at that school being harassed and being assaulted that way. No, ma'am. But that's all I got.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Savannah, your thoughts?
Wow, this is a hard story because this this child had to leave the country in order to continue doing the sport that he loves, but also to be safe from the monsters that were attacking him. And I'm not going to fault the parents too much because if I heard the story correctly, they reported it last year. last February.
Mm-hmm.
So over a year ago. So I'm looking at the schools side eye. Over these past few months, I have been working with our county and their school system in as far as like we doing some of the curriculum and things. And I'm seeing where there's so many instances of lack of care, lack of attention by administrators, by teachers, superintendents, and even downright the full school board. I see schools that are lacking in funding, that are struggling. So there's a lot here to be put on this school. Did they discipline the coaches that were attacking him or students? Has anybody been disciplined? I don't think I've heard any of that in the story. They just said, well, we didn't think it was a serious matter, so they didn't look into it. It's heartbreaking. I hope that this young man is getting the therapy that he needs, that he's able to come back and play for a school that he feels safe in, not only in sports, but he can thrive in academically, and that his parents do have a good, strong lawyer and sue the heck out of this school, because things, they definitely need to change. We are failing our children in so many ways. And we can't even look for the government to help us. This is a community problem. It's a neighborhood problem. It's just heartbreaking that he went through this for years and he had no one to protect him. So I'll be rooting for him. I'll be watching out for who he is.
Yeah, me too. Julius, your thoughts?
I hope he is victorious. He had to leave the country because the harassment was too much. And I pray that he is victorious in the court of law.
Thank you, Julius. I pray so. To do better by the kids. It's so unfair. Like your childhood should be like some of the greatest memories and times of your life. And when people want to violate you, that's supposed to be protecting you, it's super, super sad. I'm gonna roll into this last story where this a coach was accused or is accused of being a whole pimp. Let me share a screen so we can get more into it.
Assistant basketball coach at a California State University campus arrested at a Sacramento hotel. Kevin Mays, who works at CSU Bakersfield, now facing felony charges related to pimping and pandering. Maddie Vollmer explains what those charges mean and how police caught him.
The assistant coach, who was once a former Roadrunner himself, is now facing criminal charges in relation to human trafficking. Kevin Mays, a well-known assistant basketball coach at California State University Bakersfield, is facing 11 charges, including pimping and pandering, possession of illegal firearms, and possession of methamphetamine and marijuana for the purpose of sale, according to the Kern County District Attorney's Office. Through his lawyer, David Torres, he pleaded not guilty to all charges.
We have charged 2 counts. The first 2 counts in the complaint are pimping and pandering, and it does not involve a minor. They're serious charges, and some of the enhancements can potentially make them strike offenses.
I reached out to the Open Door Network, a leading human trafficking advocacy group here in Kern County, and they say these kinds of cases can be complicated.
What we believe is that there are victims in this case, and that these victims are considered trafficked because they were doing this against their will. Yeah, pimping and pandering is a different penal code. It is just kind of in alignment with trafficking, but it's a different type of charge.
An anonymous tip led to investigate Mays. The victim was found in a Sacramento hotel room, which had been booked under his name. She also had his rental car, and once located, she identified Mays as her trafficker. Mays' preliminary hearing is set for September 16th.
Yes, ma'am.
And his bail is set for $500,000.
Let me share screen again. So NCAA men's basketball coach accused of being a pimp in alleged multi-state operation. That is him. So the men's basketball program at California State University, Bakersfield, is at the center of a wild scandal after a former player turned coach was accused of running a multi-state pimping operation while working for the school. Authorities say Kevin Mays, an ex-player for the Road Runners who later joined the staff as a temporary assistant coach, is facing 11 criminal and misdemeanor charges, including felony pimping, after an investigation triggered by a shocking anonymous email. Hold on, sorry about that. According to the reports, then head coach Rod Barnes, I don't know why my thing is being so slow. Hold on. Received a message in the August titled "Important Message 911 911," claiming Mays had been trafficking a girl since May across several states. The sender warned in all caps, "Fix it or the whole staff will fall." Barnes forwarded the tip to the school's HR department, which passed it along to university police, sparking a broader investigation that ultimately led to Mays' arrest. Investigators say they identified a woman advertising sex services in Sacramento and set up a sting operation posing as a client. The woman allegedly told police Mays was her boyfriend and that he regularly covered hotel rooms, rental cars, and flights tied to her work. Police said they arrested Mays shortly afterward. A search of his car and apartment allegedly uncovered multiple firearms and a large stash of drugs, while a search of his phone reportedly revealed hundreds of images of child pee, including photos including very young children. Mays had only been hired by the program in June for the about $3,000 a month and has pleaded not guilty to all charges. He remains jailed without bail and was terminated by the school. The scandal sent shockwaves through the university athletic department soon after the arrest. Both Barnes and the athletic director, Kyle Condor, left their roles, though the school has not publicly said whether the departures were directly connected. University officials called the allegations deeply concerning and said the school conducted a broader review of its athletic programs in the aftermath. Meanwhile, investigators say the case is still active, and as they continue interviews to determine whether additional victims or charges could emerge. What a disgrace. In my opinion, your thoughts?
They haven't found the minors yet, is what it should have said. Because if this fool has images of kids that young, then he's either already done started or he's finna to start. I don't trust these kind of evil men. They don't look at women, little girls, or kids as human. They look at them as money. They use and abuse them until they have nothing left to give. And I'm not, with this case, I want them to keep on searching because they search ain't over yet. I hope that they may have this man picture over every TV station in every state because there's somebody else that's a victim of him.
Thank you. In my opinion, Wayne, your thoughts?
You know, I don't know how this goes on so long and so many people involved. I don't think one man with as widespread this operation is doing it by himself. You got to have some co-conspirators, somebody working with you. I don't think he could kept this going and being a coach and all that by himself. I think other people are involved. That's it.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts? Are you there? Is anybody else hearing Katrina? I don't hear her.
I don't hear her. I hear you.
Her StreamYard is probably acting up.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Savannah.
I completely agree with him. My opinion. I think that we haven't heard the worst of this story yet. And I hate to say this, but I would look internally on young children that are close to him. This is not only is it evil, but it's sick and twisted, and I think this has just been going on for so long, and it brings such a stain onto that university and onto the program. And they have a good program, but and I think just because he was a former player, they didn't vet him correctly as they should have. So kudos to whoever blew the whistle on this or how they found out, because you saved a young lady from constantly being trafficked and used and abused for his monetary gain and for his sick pleasure. So whoever was able to save that young lady, I'm very thankful for them today. But I think we haven't heard the ugly yet of this story. I think they are children in this one. And I agree with in my opinion, keep digging. Keep digging, keep looking and searching, but also look close to him, family members, church members, because this man was more than just sick, he was evil.
Yeah. Thank you, Savannah. Julius, your thoughts?
This case, I hope they do a thorough investigation, and all the people who did do it, I'm gonna say allegedly, are brought to justice.
Yeah, thank you. Katrina, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so he went from a road runner to a street runner. You can't make this stuff up. Listen, I watch too much Lifetime. Maybe that's just me. I see these coaches, cheerleader coaches pimping the girls out to these congressmen and all these big time people. I mean, that's on Lifetime. I'm just saying this is what I see. Now, there's no telling who he was pimping these girls out to. We want the list. We want the girl to come back and tell it. We need to see the list of these people that he pimped this girl out to. We want to see the Johns. Instead of bringing into these women into it, let's get the men that she slept with. Because I'm quite sure she slept with a lot because he was taking her from state to state. And then there's no telling how many other girls he had doing this. This is not the only one. He got more out there. Because that's what they do. They be in these high positions, these coaches and all this type of stuff, and they be pimping these kids out to go out and bring them money, telling them they can help them pay their bills, they can help them with their school, they can do this, they can do that. And they always try to go to the ones that's like weak and don't have that family support to help them. So they get those ones to get out there and pimp them out. It happened in a lot of schools, but they keep it hid or whatsoever. But yeah, he got more things going on with his situation. He got the drugs, he got the pow pows, he got a lot of stuff. He's running a whole organization. And now somebody just got mad with him and told. Well, he must try to push them out the system or something, and that came back and told on him. Because I guarantee you something happened. Because that person probably was messing with the girls and doing the same thing that he was doing himself and got mad about the situation and told on him. But either way, I'm glad that he did told on him. And I didn't want them to go back and get all the ones. I guarantee you, you're going to get some congressmen, you're going to get some teachers, you're going to get some. It's going to be a lot. We'll see. And yes, and he don't even need a bond. They said he got $500,000 bond. No, if he got a $500,000 bond, you pimping somebody out. They need the free Vera. All she did was chicken. Let Vera out of there. That's all I got.
Thank you. I don't know if it was necessarily anybody else in his little ring. I think he was keeping that money to himself, but maybe it was somebody else because they said figure this out before the whole department goes down. So that email was interesting, but I'm gonna say connected to the stories. I want to see if Afroman wins or loses his battle. This young student, I feel my heart breaks for him, but this hazing stuff has got to stop. And this particular coach, he's where he belongs. And whoever wrote that email, they saved one life. Well, let me take that back. They saved this young lady, but they potentially saved a bunch of lives because he had all of those nasty pictures in his phone. And he was pumping poison in the streets. Listen, guys, y'all know the routine. I appreciate y'all. If you ain't hit that like button on the way in, do the diva a favor. Hit it on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo, choo.
Choo, choo.
Choo, choo, choo.